Welcome to Flash Tutorial, Request 60, Sound Part 2. It's sort of a continuation or a follow-up to Flash Tutorial 59, Sound 1, although we're going to actually start a new FLA. To continue this tutorial, you'll need to have an MP3 file, and that file has to be on your computer, naturally, in a folder. And the folder is going to be the folder where you're going to save the FLA. So when you're finished, the FLA and the MP3 have to be in the same folder or it won't work. Action script 3, keeping the rest of the default settings. And the first thing I want to do is come here, File, Import the library. This takes a while to prepare this importing, and it's going to be this song here, which is now sitting in my library. Right click on that song and go to the properties. If I'm going to write script on a song or on something, it has to have an instance name. In this case, for sound and music, it's called a linkage. So click on this, there's the name of the song there. Click Action Script, click this Export for Action Script. This one here will automatically come in, and we got to give it a class. And the class is the name that we're going to call it, and I'm going to call it SONG, Song 1. That's what I'm calling my song. Just click OK here, and call this layer Action, AS, as an action script. Open it up, and in here type, and we're going to create a variable called my sound1 colon sound is the class. That turns blue. Equals new is purple, song1, that's the song linkage we just made. Open and close bracket, semicolon, and we're saying my sound1, which is that song, period, play, PLAY turns blue, open bracket, close bracket, semicolon. So when I test this out, it plays.
Rock and roll.
That's enough of that. Now, let's play it using a button. Let's go back to the main timeline, lock this actions layer, insert a layer, click on the actions layer and drag it up top. Call this one buttons, buttons, and I want to make a play button. So I'll pick up my rectangle tool, and play is usually green, as in like you can go, and I'm going to make a little rectangle-ish thing there, highlight it, modify, convert it to a symbol, make sure button is selected, and I'm going to call it BUT, PLAY underscore BTN, but play. Copy that, and in here paste it in for an instance name. Open the actions panel, and under this type in this code, type. It's that button play underscore BTN. We've done these many times. Period. Add event listener, small a, capital E, capital L, open bracket, mouse event, capital M, capital E, period, click, all capitals. There's a comma, and I'm calling it play. Close bracket, semicolon. There's the function play, PLAY. Just copy play and put it here. Event, small e, turns blue also, colon, mouse event, copy it and paste it in. Close bracket, colon, void. And here, let's cut this line here. Cut this and paste it in here. And I'm just going to do a little auto formatting. Well, didn't clean up enough for me. Just going to do a couple more. Clean it up a little bit. Now auto format. And let's test this out. No errors. When I press it,
Rock and roll.
plays. Now, let's make a stop button. Yep, let's go back to scene 1. Select that button's frame. Let's drag this play button on the stage. Open the properties panel, and let's call it but stop. BUTSTOP underscore BTN. Open the actions panel. Copy this code here for the button play. Enter a couple lines and paste it in. Now this is button stop. STOP. And we're going to tell it to stop. 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 And you would think stop would work here. It looks like it's going to. Control test movie test. And we have an error. Call to a possible undefined method. You cannot tell a sound to stop playing by this means.
Rock and roll.
So instead of dealing now with the internal sounds, that is having sounds in the library, we're going to switch to having sounds outside the library. Let's open the library and let's delete this song. Open the actions panel, and we don't want to use any of this right now, so let's put a
Let it snow.
/ and an asterisk. That's the uppercase of the 8.
Rock and roll.
Down here, let's put
Let
a
it snow.
asterisk and a /
Christmas time.
and just take that code out of there. Now what's going to be important is that when we save this FLA, we put it in the same folder as the song we want to play. So there's the code that we already used earlier, and I'm down here, type, and this is the code we need to do to find that song. It's a variable. It's my sound 1. It's pretty close to this up here, equals new sound, so it's not really given it a name yet. Open and close bracket, semicolon. Sound turns blue there, and this new is purple. That's what we call this sound, my sound 1. Period, load, LOAD, small l turns blue. Open bracket, new, NEW, turns purple. Capital U, capital R, capital L, that's URL. Capital R as in request, REQUEST. Open bracket, quotation mark. Now this is the song. R and R, that's what I'm calling it. It's capital R and capital R, space, capital LETIT, snow, period, MP3. Small m, small p, 3, close quotation, close bracket, semicolon. I'll get back to this in a minute. And again, my sound 1, period, play, open bracket, close bracket, semicolon. This part here has to be the name of the song that you have in the file folder. So if I open that up and show you what I'm talking about, there it is right there. R and R, let it snow. So whatever the name of your MP3 is, that's what you want to make sure. You don't have MP3 written here. If you do, you'll get an error. So now, if everything is all right, we can go control test movie, and it should play that song.
Rock and roll.
That's good. Now we want to be able to do it using the play button. So we got to get rid of these 2 lines. Just delete them. And in their place, type. We now have to create a channel, and that is an actual place to put the song. So variable, my channel 1, Spell that any way you want as long as
Rock and
you
roll.
use it
Let it
the same way.
snow.
Colon, sound channel.
Christmas
Capital
time
S, capital
is
C,
near.
turns blue, if spelt right,
Rock and
equals new
roll.
sound channel.
Let it
Again,
snow. Dance away.
open close bracket semicolon. Variable, another one, last position. That's just what I'm calling it. You'll see, we'll use this later on. LAST, POSITION. I got a small L and a capital P. Colon, it's a number. NUMBER. When you start typing with the capital N, it'll eventually come up in a drop down menu, and you can click OK or Enter. Equals 0, semicolon. And again, we're calling it My Song 1. Period, load. Open bracket, new, turns purple. Load is blue. Capital U, capital R, capital L, capital R. And it's request, URL request, REQUEST, open bracket, and this is the name of the song, quotation mark, the song, period, MP3, close quotation, close bracket, semicolon. So now all we got to do is get the button working for this song. So let's go up to the top of the page, and we can get rid of this completely. We're not going to be using this anymore. Delete that. We're going to use this play button in a minute. Let's get rid of that. And let's put 2 forward slashes in front of this. So now, this is the stuff we just did. I still have my button stop, but I have it doing nothing, which is alright. And here, instead of this, type in this code. Type. My channel 1. That's the name we have down here. My channel 1 that we made. This new place for the song to be. Equals my song 1. That's the song we're going to put in there. That's this song right here. My song 1. Period. Play. Small PLAY turns blue. And open bracket, last position, close bracket, semicolon. You'll see what that's for in a few minutes. So now, quick check, auto format, no obvious faults. I want to open my actions panel again. Control test, it shouldn't start playing until I hit the go button. I have some errors and I don't know what they are. My song 1, undefined property, on line 6 and 22. Line 6, my song 1 and 22. My song. I found the problem. It was with my first line here. When I probably copied and paste, this should be my song 1. I think I just copied and pasted the error. Let's test that out. And I have no errors, and when I press this, it should play.
Rock and roll.
Okay, so that was my error. I think you probably didn't have that, but the way I did it, I copied and pasted from a different folder. So now we want to stop it. So let's go up to our button stop and remove that and type. My channel 1, period, stop, open bracket, close bracket, semicolon, colon, and now we should be able to stop it and start it. No errors. I start it.
Rock and roll. Let it snow.
It stops, and when I start it up again,
Rock and roll. Let it snow. Christmas time.
now that system, every time you press the stop button, it's not only stops, when you press the start button, it starts from the beginning again. So we need to now make a pause button. So let's go back to the timeline, lock the actions layer, unlock the buttons layer, select frame 1, open the library, drag this button in, Open the properties panel. Call this but, B-U-T, pause, P-A-U-S-E, underscore BTN. And let's give it a different color. So under color effects, tint, there's a yellowish crappy color there. That's going to be my pause button. Close this. Open the properties panel. And right in after this stop button, put a couple of lines. And type. There's pause. And you could actually copy some of this and bring it down, but I'm just going to type it in or paste it in. It's a period, add event listener, open bracket, most event, period, click, comma. You can go back up there and go through that. It's the pause, P-A-U-S-E, open bracket, semicolon. There's the function. The function's called pause. Open bracket, event, small e, colon, most event, capital M, capital E, close bracket, colon, void. I know this is getting boring. And in this pause, we have two things. We have set the last position. So last position equals my channel, period, position. It's actually my channel 1, period, position. And my channel 1, stop. So this pause button, much similar as the stop button, stops that channel, except it remembers where it was so that when we start it up again, it goes to that last position. Hopefully we have no errors, because if they did, I wouldn't know what they would be. We can play it.
Rock and roll.
Stop it. If I play it again, it starts from the beginning.
Rock and roll. Let it
Now I'm gonna
snow.
Pause it, and it was somewhere around let it snow.
Christmas time is near. Rock and
When I start, it's going to say roll.
roll. Let it snow. Dance away.
That was a struggle. I'm not good at sound. I don't use it a lot. But I hope you learned something from these two tutorials, and I hope you use what you learn.